Hi everyone, Guillaume here from Inspirient. Today I want to show you an exciting new feature that we've added to our platform. So we've integrated ChatGPT, and I want to show you that today using a publicly available data set. So it's the Berkeley IGS poll, and it's a periodic survey of California public opinion on matters of politics and other public issues. So I've already downloaded the SPSS file, and let me just show you that quickly. So it's a regular SPSS file with some demographic variables, the question variables, and around 10,000 people that have answered this particular survey. So the first step is to submit the file for analysis and let Inspirient mine it for all the interesting facts that exist within that survey. So let's start the analysis. If you are not aware of Inspirient and the platform and how it's working, we do have some other videos on our YouTube channel where you can go and find out all about the other features and a little bit more in-depth information on the whole end-to-end process. So for now, we're just going to skip straight to the results because this survey takes about 15 minutes to analyze. And so I ran it already earlier. And this is what you will see once your analysis has finished. And what we see are a set of slides. There are actually quite a lot of slides. There can be thousands. Each slide is a finding that Inspirient has surfaced, and the finding is described in a natural language text as a title, and it's backed up by a chart. And depending on the number of demographic variables and the number of question variables, you will essentially have a finding for each combination of them. And so what we want to do now is use ChatGPT to help us retrieve the most notable ones and summarize them in any way we like. So let me open up the ChatGPT dialog, and now we can ask it any question about this survey. So I'm going to ask it, what are the 3 most important facts in this survey for a Republican? And what ChatGPT is doing is it's going into the full set of findings, and it's retrieving the 3 most interesting facts and then summarizing them in a very human-like summary. For example, if I read the first interesting one, so one of the most important facts for a Republican is that 37.6% of Republicans believe that the US needed to remain in Afghanistan all these years, and its recent decision to withdraw from Afghanistan was a mistake. I'm not going to read the second and third, but what's nice about this is that ChatGPT also includes a citation of where it got that fact from. So we can actually click that fact and get to the result that Inspirient derived from the survey. And as you see here, we have the natural language title, we have the chart supporting it, and we even have a footnote that describes the statistical test that was performed, the base size, and other pieces of very important information to make this fully transparent and understandable and trustworthy. So let's go back to our ChatGPT window and ask it to explain the first item in a bit more detail. And here you see that it's again pointing out the insight but adding a little bit more detail, and it's also including the analysis that Inspirient generated with it. Okay, this is very interesting. Now give me 2 alternatives for a Republican candidate to campaign on this, including their estimated budget. So this question is slightly more difficult because it's not only asking the system to find noteworthy findings from the results that we've found, but also ChatGPT has been trained on a large amount of different data sources. So you can ask it some questions to retrieve some of that information from the world's knowledge bank and include it within the summary. So for example, the budget was not included in the survey data, but it can use that knowledge that it was trained on to add that information in there. So I'm not going to read the whole first ad campaign, but if we look at the end, it's telling us that the estimated budget for such a campaign could vary depending on the scope, of course, but it at least could range from several $100,000 to several million. So yeah, that's really great. So what I've shown you is how we can use Inspirient to accurately analyze survey data, fully auditable and transparent, and we can use ChatGPT to summarize those results, because we can have thousands and thousands of findings, and even include some external knowledge that ChatGPT has learned from what it's been trained on world knowledge. So thank you very much for listening. I think it's a great addition to our platform to include the interaction with ChatGPT, and if you would like to try it, we would be happy to run your survey data through it, and we can see what Inspirient finds in there and how good ChatGPT is at summarizing those results. Thank you all for listening. Bye.